Hello, sad boys, and welcome to my channel, where I poorly express opinions on music sometimes. No two albums on this planet are more nostalgic to me. American Idiot and The Black Parade. Two emo punk powerhouses putting out rock conceptual albums. Now, I thought we could go through these albums song by song and determine which ones would make up the most perfect playlist. Hit it.
Doug's thoughts. Doug's thoughts. Doug's thoughts.
I really do think that these two albums are comparable just in what they're trying to accomplish. A really weird thing that YouTube Music is doing, for some reason, they place all the American Idiot songs together. When you buy the physical album, it doesn't have 9 songs on it, it has 13. So instead, I have to use these unofficial HQ rips. And of course, the first song is the title track. You know it. We all know it. Crack open a Red Bull. We're gonna need some energy to get through these emotional roller coasters. It's a good opening track. It has that instantly recognizable guitar riff. I may not share the same resentment towards rednecks that Billy Joe seems to have. I can still recognize that this is a fun banger, whereas the Black Parade chooses to open not necessarily with an intro, but definitely not something I would call a fully realized song.
Now come on, come all to this tragic affair. Wipe off that.
They do cram a whole lot into these 2 minutes. You feel like you go through the whole gamut. This serves as a perfect mood setter before we dive into the Black Parade. They're both coming at you from different positions, but which one serves as the greater thesis statement to the album as a whole? I typically have been very anti-intros. I actually think that the end perfectly sets up and energizes me for the next hour, more so than American Idiot. And we got our first entry here, the end. Song number 2, or should I say songs number 2.
At the center of the earth in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven where
I could do a whole episode just pitting songs against the different parts of Jesus of Suburbia. Every single part of the song is building on one another in a way that's interesting enough and developed enough that you don't feel like you're missing out, getting shortchanged, or getting too much of one sound or one part. It's going against the most energetic and enthusiastic song on this entire album. Dead's fucking solid. Don't you get me wrong. Brilliant. Love it. I like everything at play here. I love the fucking energy of Dead, but it's Jesus of Suburbia. If you had $1 and you could only buy one song on iTunes, and that's gonna be your one song, Jesus of Suburbia is well worth that price. I can't remember which songs on this album I genuinely like and which ones have been played so much that I can't fucking live anymore. Okay, maybe I was a little judgy. Maybe this song isn't as bad as I had previously thought. There are elements of warning in here where they were going a little more acoustic, where they were trying to brighten up their sound. This fanfare satire of a parade song works really well with that bouncy acoustic guitar. I don't blame the radios for playing it as much as they did, especially compared to some of their other hits. Fucking get to you. This is how I diss up. I don't know why they started widening Gerard's vocals so much. Completely taken away all the raw closeness of Gerard just screaming in your ears, screaming in your face. Here they've really kind of stepped back and went for more of a grander sound, which tends to push me away a little. When you pit this one next to Holiday, I think the answer is pretty clear to see. Boulevard of Broken Dreams comes to muddy the water.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever.
Oh no, the nostalgia is working on me. I had nothing but contempt for Boulevard of Broken Dreams. When I listen to it, it is a well done, well produced song that is catchy as fuck. It's just so fucking solid, though I do miss Mike Dirnt. Mike Dirnt isn't really doing anything fantastical on these songs. Sharpest Lives. It really is kind of like To the End Part 2. Do I like Boulevard of Broken Dreams more? Oh no, this is an upset. The only song I've chosen from the Black Parade has been there. I feel like things are going to change a little with number 5 though.
And screaming.
There's a couple of songs on this album that I just never bothered putting on my iPod. If you know anything about Young Grayson, is that they hated slow songs. Get that sappy shit off of my iPod. I've always felt like it's the crowd scener before St. Jimmy. Coming after Boulevard of Broken Dreams, it just tends to drag the pace a little. And now I would like to welcome everyone to the Black Parade. Oh, Black Parade, here you come to save the day. Sure, that first fucking minute is annoying, overly long, dramatic. That piano just tapping in my brain. Boop, boop, boop. Once the band joins in, it is a pleasurable, somewhat heavy My Chem song, heavy for this album, makes up for the lackluster first half and is definitely better than Are We the Waiting? You think I'm gonna put Are We the Waiting on my fucking playlist?
My name is Jimmy, and you better not wait out. Suicide comment or that jump up.
Saint Jimmy is a persona created by Le Jesus of Le Suburbia. This nihilist is created inside of our titular character. The song itself reminds me a lot of when Green Day is being very tongue-in-cheek and kind of gesturing of misbehaving, mischievous doings. They're acknowledging their personas while also sort of feeding into it. That's typically when I enjoy Green Day the most. And it's against the first time on this album, My Chem tries to break your fucking heart.
When after all this time, it's you still out.
My Chem is really good at pushing just the right amount of sappiness. Gerard is very good at actually tapping into real emotions while also playing up the theatrics. I think it's fair to say that he is the emo rock star. Out of the slow songs on the Black Parade, I Don't Love You might be the best mix of tempo and tone. St. Jimmy is good, but it doesn't have that pull, that connection. Have you ever asked yourself these questions? Why would you? After a tough call like that, I need some Novocaine myself.
It's like a throbbing toothache of the mind.
Ooh, give me Novocaine's nice. It eases you, it soothes you. It's a nice palate cleanser after St. Jimmy. I like the slide guitars. Whoa. Is it enough to beat House of Wolves, where my alpha boys, Aru, Tell me I'm a bad man, kick me like a stray. I like how sassy this one is. I like the energy behind it. I also like Gimme Novocaine. So I did 3 Green Day songs in a row. I don't think it's bad to do 3 Mind Chem songs in a row. She's a rebel. She's a saint. She's the one they call, oh, what? A very simple song. I think it's a gem on this album that doesn't get enough attention. But it is time to cry. Hopefully we can get through the cancer. It's a short one, but it's a tough one.
Help gather all my things and bury me.
Ooh, it is touching. But is it mean to say that cancer's boring? There's a lot of really touching parts of it. I love the, if you could just give me a drink of water, because my lips are chapped and faded. Crushes me. But She's a Rebel has a fun bounce to it. Fuck the better song. I'm going with which one I liked better. Whew, making the tough calls over here. She may be a rebel, but is she also an extraordinary girl?
Some days it feels like dying. She gets so sick.
Ooh, not my favorite one on here, and not other people's favorite one, given how little views it has in comparison to the other songs. Boy, and it's going against Mama. Oh, Mama. It's not even a competition.
Hey, when we go, don't blame us, yeah.
That one is 100% on the playlist. Mama, we're all going to hell, and I'm probably going to hell for this video. These are tough calls.
Where have all the bastards gone?
It's weird how this album in my mind feels like such an evolution from Green Day and everything they've ever done. Yeah, I'm finding a lot of their old sound in some of these songs. I think this album could have actually benefited from 1 or 2 more cuts, especially given with how lengthy Homecoming and Jesus of Suburbia is. And we're going against the powerhouse that's Sleep. Many terrors. There's many terrors. While Sleep is definitely not my favorite on this album, it is powerful. Definitely a better song than Letter Bomb. I still put this entire album on my iPod, where American Idiot, some of these lesser cuts, I didn't even bother listening to as a kid.
Wake me up when September ends.
It's not that it's a terrible song. It's just that there is an over sentimentality behind it. I understand the connection that Billy Joe has to this song itself. It just doesn't strike that same type of connection within me. His voice is not whiny. The way he's fluctuating it just never sits right with me. You know, like the very meaningful song Teenagers.
They said I'm teenagers scared the living shit out of me.
Oh, it's so cheesy. This song is incredibly fun and I like the tone of it, but it's also embarrassing to break down on a lyrical level and think of grown men singing about how teenagers scare them, especially compared to the music video that's just trying way too hard. I do not find this song as repulsively annoying as September. So Green Day is gonna win back a whole lot of fucking points with Homecoming.
Somebody get me out of here.
I feel like I should just preemptively give it to Homecoming already for Rock and Roll Girlfriend, but that's just me. I'm fair and balanced, which means I will give Disenchanted a full good listen to. This is me. Look, hey, hi. Hear it? I'm listening to it right now.
If I'm so wrong, how can you listen
All right, I gave it a listen to, and yeah, it's Homecoming. Splitting Jesus of Suburbia and Homecoming makes up for the lack of representation of Green Day on our playlist, which is coming to a close with our final songs, What's Her Name?
I remember the face, but I can't recall.
What's Her Name could be an easy, lazy cash in for Green Day. They put all their chips in Homecoming. They made this grand, big finale. But I actually find What's Her Name a cut above that. It has some of the heaviest parts in it that this album has to offer. It captures Green Day of old and the sound that they've sort of encompassed through this album. Whereas the Black Parade chooses to end on some famous last words.
I know that I can make you stay.
Ooh, this is a tough call because both songs feels like the artist going all out, going as hard as they can. Famous Last Words just feels like such an amalgamation of the emotions and energy that they had experienced throughout the entire album. Not only is it reflective of the ideas that they've been exploring in the album, but it's also a good closing cap to those thematics. I'm gonna have to say Famous Last Words. This is what our playlist looks like. As you can see, it is extremely My Chemical Romance heavy, but there's also bonus tracks. I'm gonna put Blood, a very enjoyable joke hidden track.
Blood, gallons of the stuff, give them all that they can drink and it will never.
If any of these four discarded, forgotten B-sides are better than Blood, then I will add them to the playlist. So it's these four against Blood.
Looks are always so deceiving. So 1, 2, 3 on the felony. Well, not everything is high, 'cause we're all gonna die. Let the vultures pick apart what's left. I'll be back. He hit the ground running at the speed of light.
After reviewing the 4 bonus tracks on American Idiot, I can confidently say Too Much Too Soon. I think the instrumentals are very reminiscent of classical Green Day, but it doesn't ultimately stand out or fit for this album. Shoplifter is an interesting idea with a Western acoustic guitar melody that just doesn't quite come together. Governator is awful. When I got to Favorite Son, I heard sounds that perfectly captured the American Idiot transition and the legacy that Green Day had built before them. Something that I feel is thematically on point with American Idiot while musically fitting in with what they're trying to achieve on the album. I'm going to take a very enjoyable full song as opposed to a jokey little bonus track. And here we are, our final list, our final assessment, Green Day's American Idiot versus My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade. Do you agree with my selections? Would you have chose differently? Was I wrong to even pit these albums against each other in the first place? Stay sweaty, stay posy, listen to some good shit, and I will talk to you later. Toodles.